Hello everyone, how are we all doing this evening? Hopefully everything's coming through okay and you can hear me and it's all going through just fine. Tonight is question time. If you're new to the channel or haven't seen one of these live streams before, every now and then I'll do a question time, and this is an opportunity for you to throw any questions you like at me regarding basically anything you want. It could be games dev related, gaming, Unreal, life, whatever you want. I hope everyone's keeping safe and staying home and looking after themselves. So, how are we all doing? What have people been working on? And if you want to throw your questions up in chat, by all means, go and throw them in chat. If, by the way, I do miss your question, do not fret. I will try and get through them. I'll go back and try and answer them. But apologies if I do miss it straight off the bat there. Okay. So actually the first question we've got here today is, I don't know what your name is it II? Hi Ryan, how to set up collisions in Unreal Engine for skeletal meshes. My characters are walking through trees, stones, etc., foliage, and through static meshes, even if I've enabled collision for static. Okay, so your skeletal mesh, see if I can get an example up. Have I got an example I can bring in? Let's have a think. Hang on. So I've got a skeletal mesh somewhere. So let's go into here and download our Santa here. I can't remember which one has the character on it. Let's have a look. Nope. Bear with me. Are you walking? Yeah, walking. Okay, so when you import a character in or a skeletal mesh in, you should be brought in with a physics asset. The physics asset for a skeletal mesh is what handles the collision of a skeletal mesh, and it sort of auto detects where the physics collisions should be. Okay, so that's what you should find. If you don't have that, then you got some issues. I wonder if there's a way to auto generate one if it hasn't been imported. It should come in with the import. So double check that. If I delete it, let's see if I can recreate it in here. But if it isn't that, then you need to look at your collision channels and make sure they're correct. And we'll go through the collision channels in a second. Is there a way to do physics asset from here? Doesn't look like it. Looks like you have to do it on the import. So on the import, it should come in with the physics asset. If it doesn't, let's just re-import that in. Or rather not, we don't need to do that because we've got a skeletal mesh on our first person character here. So our first person character here has a skeletal mesh on it already, the arms you see here. Okay. And again, these come with physics shells already, handle the collision. The thing you need to check out for is what character did you get from the marketplace? Whilst I'm waiting for that response, let's go back to Nova the Potato. I'm new on this channel and I'm enjoying it so far, but I have a question. What's the best way to learn coding and get into the bread of programming? Practice and learn, or learn from courses? There's all sorts of ways you can learn. So the way I learn is through experimentation, looking at other people, looking at other courses, looking at documentation, looking at all different sources. But I'm a weird case because I obviously know programming from other places, so I'm bringing a lot of knowledge with me. So if you're completely new to programming, learn the basic concepts on logic solving in programming. So think, especially learn the basics of object-oriented programming. If you know the basics of object-oriented programming and the sort of theory behind it, such as polymorphism and things like that, a lot more of Unreal makes a lot more sense. But other than that, the best way to learn once you've got past that part is just to throw yourself into it and start learning bits and bobs. If there's something new that you want to try out, like the physics asset that we're looking at now, make something with just that in mind. So yeah, I think set yourself little challenges, set yourself little little problems there to solve. You bought the zombie rats that have no collision. I have no idea what they are. So the zombie rats don't have any physics asset when you bring them in. Is that what it is? You can there is a way to create your own physics asset. Let's see, remember how you do this. Physics asset, and you choose a skeletal mesh from the physics asset. So if we say let's pick the arms here. And open it up, and it should auto generate for you a lot of it, but you can also add your own pieces to it. And the way you do that is you right click up here and you go add shape, and you can add like a capsule, for example, and you can position it wherever you like that, for example. Yeah, so you can do that on whatever bone you want. They're attached to bone, so they'll go with the animation of the bone. So that's how you would go about doing it. Hopefully that makes sense and you can get cracking with that. It should auto-generate with the bones, so it will match it with the bones as best as possible. And then if you want to add other ones to it, you can do just by right-clicking on your bones and adding shapes. Hopefully that answers your question, II. Or two, whatever your name is, sorry. Ranan Runkio, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Is there a way to put more than 4 dynamic lights on my map? Is there any way to make static lights at the same resolution as dynamic lights? So no. You hang on, I'll show you what so people know what you're talking about. I'll put them in there. So let's put in one dynamic light here. Make it dynamic. Dynamic is movable, by the way. So if I put 1, 2, 3, 4, you can well, are you trying to make it for a particular platform, Renan? So lighting resolution is all handled by the light maps, and that happens on a mesh basis. So if I go and find a mesh, so my sci-fi door here I've got on my mesh here, this has a light map on it. So when you import something in it also generates light maps, which you can see there. And this light map is what stores the lighting data for this model. And I can customize this. If I go down and see light map resolution, I can increase the light map resolution so it's a bit more higher detailed. You want to avoid going too high detailed. You want to try and keep them low. They typically are lower than most texture maps. So this one's only 64 by 64. But you can increase the resolution of it here, and that will improve the quality of it. So that's the light map resolution. Just want to see something out for II there. So when you're importing in II, have you got this ticked? Create physics asset. Make sure you got that ticked. If you don't see it there, it's in the advanced section at the top here, and that'll create your thing by default. Otherwise, you can just do what I said and go through and change that. I haven't looked at 425, so I don't know what the differences they've done there. Oh, sorry if I'm missing questions. I'm getting quite a lot of them come through, so bear with me. How would you arrange text translation in a game? I tried with the standard Epic system, but it only translated the editing interface. Thank you for your tutorials. I haven't done it before, but the only way I know is a standard Epic system. I can't say otherwise. The alternative would be to store all your text in data tables and have different translations in that data table, and then you just search for the translation at load time. Yeah. Shadow Amoy. Question. I know tools that paid tools like Houdini exist, but I was hoping to programmatically create structures in my scene. Having them add them by hand can be tiring. Yes. That's not really a question, but yes, you can do that. That's called procedural generation. It is involved. Hang on, let me give it these damn lights. Procedural, it's a long process to show you, but when you create a blueprint actor, you work in the construction script to build your meshes, and you can change the size, shape, location, positioning of those meshes based on various things. Oh Christ, it's a long process. I can't really show quickly right now, I don't think. Let's see if I can quickly do it. Bear with. I don't know how big the wall is. Hang on. Cube. Where's start content? Architecture wall. Let's do the 400 by 400 wall. So you do this, and then you do for loop. And that will go into last index. Static mesh. One by 400. And its position changes based on this, so it will be split this, and location will be oh my god, try and remember now. So you get this vector, and then no, normalize. Multiplied by float 400, because that's the size of it. And then I believe we just add this onto here. And you get this. This won't be rotated or anything, but essentially it's not going to do it. I can't remember now off the top of my head how I did it. Why that's not doing that correctly at all, is it? What's going on there? Normalize this, that. Probably has something to do with the way that this is set up with the wall. I didn't make the wall, so I don't know what its root is and all that stuff. But yes, but essentially you make buildings like this. I will do videos on procedural generation down the line. It's been a while since I looked at it, but yes, you can do it. It's all in the construction script here, and you build these sort of loops up, and it builds. You can make building houses and things like that. By the way, if I do miss your question, just put it down again, and I will get round to it hopefully. Where am I missing? Where have I gone? I have a 62 square kilometer terrain. How should I material it? You've got two choices. You can either use a height map. Depends on how you made it. But a height map is the quickest way. Otherwise, you're hand painting it with landscape layer system. Which I've got a video on the landscape layer video system. Pablo is asking, is it possible to light Megascan's plant in an interior scene with a static or stationary light and have good quality shadows? Again, increase that light map resolution. That should help you with that. X Draco, another question. How to determine the probability of an item coming from a chest or enemy or loot rarity in general? I've exactly got a video of that already. Patrons have access to it now, and it will be, I think, coming out publicly, if not next week after. So very soon you'll be getting that in the public release. But I have got that done. It's weighted loot tables, so look out for that. It'll be coming out either next Wednesday or the Wednesday after. Hi Ryan, are you or could you do some blueprint to C++ tutorials? Also, if we ever wanted to contact you to go over something, is there somewhere we could do it? So like a Discord. So first of all, I do want to get round to eventually doing C++ tutorials in Unreal. That's not a priority at the moment because it's not the largest audience of people that watch the channel aren't interested in learning that stuff. And those who want to know C++, I always say just learn C++ first and then tackle Unreal. So learn C++ first and then come back to figuring out Unreal. But yes, it will get done eventually at some point, but no time at the moment. The Screamer. Hi Ryan, fan channel a week ago. I'm currently watching things. I like your explanation. I find your tutorials very useful. Thank you. Dato, why do I stream at midnight for you? I'm sorry, it is midnight for me as well. It's literally the only time of day where I don't have children screaming at me. So they're asleep. So it's time for me to actually get some work done. So, yeah, yes. Sorry. If I go full time with this, I'll be doing different streams at different times of day. But that's a long way off yet. Ahmet Sally, what's your intro music? I believe it's called Jerry 5 and it's from Incomtech. I actually got one more question. Why some characters are invisible on mobile Android game with some more bones? Is there a bone limitation? My same rats are invisible on mobile phone when game packaged. I can't remember off the top of my head if bones have a limitation on mobile. It may well do. Let's have a look. Put some on screen so you guys don't have to see my maths I'm working out for another little thing I'm working on. UE4 mobile limitations. And those limitations with textures and lights, but I can't remember off the top of my head bones. But there may well be. It may also be related to your material. That might be why they're invisible. So check your material. That may be the reason why you can't see them. Yeah. The best way to do it is use a different profile while making the game. So if you go to, I can't remember where it is now. Nope, I can't remember where it is. Where is it? It's up here somewhere. Mobile preview. You do this, and you can see what it simulates it to be like on mobile. And if it's invisible, again, it probably is material more so than anything. But it could be a bone thing. I'm not too sure. Elijah LeMay. Hi Ryan, your advanced dialogue tool uses a sphere tray system to track interaction. Your quest system uses a begin overlap. I want to tie this tutorial together. Which system would be best? It's totally up to you. I try to vary up my system so you can see different benefits of different ones. If you combine it, I personally quite like the sphere trace. It seems neater. So that's what I'll go for, probably sphere trace. Vortex. I know eventually you'll be coming out of a skill tree tutorial. In your tutorial, will it show a way around skill points and stats resetting once you clear the UI widget from parent? Yes, it will. It's already being made now privately for someone, and it will be available publicly in the future. No ETA on when. They've got private access to it at the moment. Marek McKeska. Hi, quick question. Working on AI. After a while, I noticed my perception component is coming from center of pawn right instead of the head height. Any idea why that could be? Yeah, so let's go and let's pretend my first person character here is my enemy AI thing. You add your perception component. AI perception. I've already got it on there. Sweet. Okay, so with that on there, you can actually change its origin somewhere. Where is it? It's around it somewhere. Oh, I can't remember where now. Class defaults. Yes, you can. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell it is. Hang on, let me Google. Let me go to Google. See if I can find what I'm looking for. Bear with me. Nope. That's annoying. Hang on. Let me just got that one there. Let's delete this one. Put this in the game. Hang on. Why is that coming up? That's me working on stuff. Hang on. Let's figure out why that's doing that. Where's the... It's not going to work. I can't really test it quickly off the top of my head right now. I'll look into it. It's somewhere around there. Not a different sense, is it? No. Yeah, don't know about that one. I'll have to have a look at that. Look that one up. Maybe I'm thinking of the old one. Perception. I think I've taken it out now, haven't I? I'll have to have a look. Sorry about that one. I'm not too sure. I think I'm thinking of the old perception system. I know you could do it somewhere. I'm guessing it's there. Alan Carstairs, have you ever coded custom shaders in Unreal 4 like Toon shaders? I found it hard to find material about how to do it or how to code in Unreal using HL. Any advice? Basic shaders using the material system. That is it. Not a lot, but yes, I've done a tiny amount of stuff. But no advice, unfortunately. It's not my strongest suit. Dato, have you thought about making physics like for planes? Nope, I haven't. But I haven't never done it before. Be interested to try and do it. And why have I chosen Unreal and not Unity or Godot? Or Godot, how you pronounce it. The sole reason Unreal was the pick of choice was I teach it in real life, so therefore that's what we use. Unreal is quite user friendly for the students I teach at university and college, so it makes sense for them to use it. I haven't used Godot really at all. Mostly just obviously mostly Unreal. Done a little bit of Unity years ago, but pretty much exclusive on Unreal at the moment. So that's why I do it in Unreal. How can I slice skeletal meshes in game? I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I would have to research and look that up. But I'm sure there's a GDC talk about it, what they do to create that. It's at some point you're turning a skeletal mesh into a destructible mesh, and then dissecting it somehow, somewhere. Martin, is there a way to bake light map to objects that are spawned during gameplay or at the beginning play so they fit to the scene? No, but what you can do, Martin, is if you place them in the correct location where they should be, then bake their lighting and then move them underneath the map at the start of the game. So when you're loading up the game, you'd move everything beneath the map that needs to be there. So it's already loaded up, everything needs to be inside the scene, and then you just move it to the correct position when you quote unquote spawn it in. So a bit of way around that. That's how most games do it. A lot of times in games, stuff that you spawn in is already in the game. It's just underneath the level. Tyler Bates, is it possible to use depth of field to blur the screen while leaving one object exempt? For example, I make an inspect function and want to blur the screen except for an item that is inspecting. So when you make the post-processing, you need to use custom scene depth and add the item that you want to not blur to that custom scene depth, and then you make that exempt from the post-process. That's the general gist. It's a lot of work to show right now, but that's essentially what you do. To do a custom scene depth, that's the easiest thing I'll show you. If we go down to the rendering here, you can see rendering, and you can see rendering has the option for custom depth. So tick that, and you can then use it for the rendering of custom depth. So for example, you can see custom depth at work here. If I click on this and tell it to not that's a bad example. Let's do the question mark. Where's rendering? There you go. And then you do render custom depth pass. And if I change this to, so you got scene depth, which is like this, and then you got custom depth. If I can't find it, custom depth. You can see the only thing that is shaded now is the question mark. Okay, so that's custom depth. Dato again. Question: can you quickly make a script with point trails at the location from where your mouse, if you click, line transforming mouse location in 3D? Yeah, you can do that. what's the easiest way of doing this? Let's go and say, itchy leg. Sorry. What would be the best place for this? Probably a player character. So do left mouse button, and we're going to get mouse position viewport, and then project screen to world, and that'd be the player controller object. Oh, and we can go, I don't know, spawn emitter. Let's do at location. Do a fire. There we go. Let's just quickly make this change its input mode. So I can actually click. Oh, without fire. Also told it to show mouse cursor. Set show mouse cursor. So that's a crude example, but that should in theory work. It's just spawning at my player's location. Why are you doing this to me? Get mouse position viewport, blah blah blah. Maybe it's position under. I can't remember now. There's loads of different mouse things you can do. Position world mouse. I can't remember now. What's it called? Mouse world. Project. No, it should screen position. Oh wait, you need to get the direction and do a line trace. Sorry, my bad. You do a line trace. Sorry, line trace by channel. So start position is world position there, and the world direction then is multiplied by however far you want it to look. So do 1000 for example, and we add that to our offset position. And then our hit, we just use hit location as that position there. And then need to actually, let's debug it. Duration. Yeah. Get in there. It's something like that. I probably messed up something here. Get screen. Probably have to use the camera position as well to get the way you want it to go. Yeah, probably have to use the camera position to help you with that. So I'm rushing through all this. I'm trying to answer as many people's questions as possible. Ashish, Paul, how would you change restrict the character movement into 2-axis like in a 2D platform, depending on which camera is being used in a 3D space? An example would be a 2D sections in Super Mario Odyssey. So, right. What's the best way to show this in here? And let's get rid of this stuff first. So, yes, you can. It's hard to do with first person. Let's load up a third person game. Yeah, so you have ability to restrict it on an axis, and you can limit the axis to another object. Where's question time? Third person. There you go. Oh, let's just start a new one. There you go. Whilst loading up, I'll answer some other questions, but yes, we will get to that. Probably Gavin. Making a character's movement speed a variable, agility, so I can increase speed with stats gear later on. Thanks in advance. If you read this, an explanation should suffice. Yep, hang on. Let me just load this up so it could be going. Third person. Next. Sure. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'll delete it afterwards. So, let's just go back to first person. So your character movement component. Anything you see here is a variable, so you can change it during the game. So you may have probably a variable here if you want to do something. So you can do walk speed, and walk speed is a float, and you just get the character movement, and you go set max walk speed, and that'll be how fast player can go. So by default it's 600. So your walk speed here could be 600 or 1,000. So I could put 1,000 for example, and let's do begin play. Oh, God's sake, disconnect that. So now I'll walk at 1,000. Yeah. Next, you may want to make it so it works on a click or a button or import. All you do is change that value to whatever you like, and you can make the walk speed whatever you want. You just change it this whenever you want to change the walk speed. Hopefully that answers it. I'm very tired, so if I don't explain things too well. Okay, so side scrolling stuff. So let's say, for example, my character here is side scrolling. So let's make them side scrolling. And edit the camera. So to make something side scrolling, all you're doing is taking the camera boom, the spring arm, and then rotating it. Let's do it this way. Why won't you rotate? What? It should. I don't get why it's not working. Oh, it's because it's inheriting. Turn off use pawn control, and that's it. Now you can turn off all this stuff. So you by default it uses the pawn control rotation. Just turn that off, and then you can rotate that around. Let's just do it again. Right, there we go. There we go. So you can limit the player's movement. So if you go to character movement, if you scroll down, you'll find where is it? Planar movement, and you can constrain to a plane, and you can constrain it to whatever normal you like. So this could be the normal of the x-axis, for example. So you want to constrain it on the x-axis, you put it on 1, and I know on the z as well, 1. I'm going to push play now. Oh, it doesn't help that my camera's set up broken. Hang on. Let's do this and turn off inherit. Why is it doing that? Let's delete that and put it back in. Oh wait, we want to inherit the yaw, don't we? Yaw. Okay, so you get this sort of set up where you can. Oh, it's just a bad system. I'm rushing this so much. It's because all the movement inputs are broken as well. Right, let's make a character from scratch and make this work. So movement input. I don't want to get the control rotation. When I push forward, it's not forward. It's D and A, isn't it? So we need to change that to turn it off. And moving right is going to be just do in the X1, and that should no. Why is that not working? Oh, I'm too tired. Hang on. Let's sort this all out. Don't need that. Don't need this. Jump, I can leave in. Jump, touch, I can get rid of. Okay. Right, let's turn all this off. And let's go to the project settings and change the way things work here. So forward and right are different. Source semantics, but so we'll ignore move forward. We'll just use move right. Move right uses A and D, with D A being -1 in the scale. So if I just get rid of move forward, save that confusion, and then on here, move right, and that will give us an axis value. The axis value here would do this. The world direction we want it to move it in is in the X direction, so that should be a 1 there. And that should go there. I don't see why that's being. Why are you being weird? What have I forgotten? Is it that? No, what is going on here? Move right. Yes, that. That's all it is. Don't know why it's getting weird. Let's get the local direction in. Capsule component. Get forward vector. And do this. I've really broken it. I don't know what I've done. What the hell's going on? Let's print string this thing. Got movement on it, hasn't it? Yeah. Probably doing something really stupid. What have I forgotten? Get forward vector, yeah. Move right, yeah. Let's plug that in, make sure that's still picking that up. Oh, it's because the constraints, I think, are buggered. Hang on, let's turn the constraints off. There we go. Well, there we go. It was the bloody constraints. Right. Okay. So you got that, and then we want to tell this to not inherit the your. I don't understand what's going on there. Oh no, I do understand what's going on there. Yeah, it's something to do with animation. We're getting away from the question. The way what you need to do is with the character movement, because that now plane are constrained to plane, you can access that from here. So you constrain to plane normal, and you can use this to get the direction of the camera that you're looking at. I'll have to do a video on it and show it properly when I'm not half asleep. But yes, that is what you're doing there. God. Elijah LeMay. I'm working at FPS. AI will chase the player until a hit with a line trace. Then it stops all forward motion and won't start to get anything off the top of your head. No, it could be absolute anything. Without seeing the whole project, it's hard to determine what AI is going wrong with it. The only thing I could think of, are you? I don't know. No, it couldn't be doing that. If it won't start up again, have you told it to destroy its controller or turn the brain component off or anything like that? I don't know. It could be anything like that. Nico, what are procedural meshes and what's the difference to static meshes? So a static mesh. Let me get an example. So a static mesh is this. Okay, it's just a mesh that was modeled in probably like Maya or Blender or something like that, and it's just a mesh that doesn't do anything. It's just there. Okay, it's a prop. A procedural mesh is something that the game can control its appearance and change it either in real time or in an editor. So you're basically asking the game to procedurally generate something based on a predetermined inputs. So you enter the inputs and then it will spit out what the mesh will look like. And that's kind of basically it. Probably Gavin. So if I was adding boots that made you move faster, I would add the float value of the movement speed from the boots to the player walk speed set equal that as long as the item is equipped. Yep, that's basically it. Patapat. How do you change in-game brightness gamma blueprints for options? Where is it? You can get is it this one? Get game settings, and you can then get it's one of these. You can get let's do set. Don't think you can do brightness gamma. No. But yeah, it's game user settings are the one settings that you get. So these are the things you can change, like VSync and resolution, texture quality, and all that stuff. I don't know about gamma brightness. Not too sure. But have a look at this. It probably something to do with this. Let's have a look on their documentation. Just looking up some stuff at the moment. Hang on. It probably actually for brightness and gamma maybe a post process. That's what the documentation seems to be leading to. Looks like it may be a post process because you can do it on that, so maybe that's the best way of doing it. Furious Warg. Hi Ryan, what would be the best way of constantly spawning a slime trail behind an actor, and could also damage the player when they step on it? You would need a actor that's a sphere collision, so you can detect when the player's on it, and a decal on it. So look at decals and just make an actor and make it spawn it behind whenever. Off the top of my head, that's the way you would do it. Alex Buckley, any tips for target lock system from action combat games like Devil May Cry and Kingdom Hearts? Yeah. So if I go to my third person one. Oh, hang on, let me close it. So I've got another one that's done it. I can show you. That's it. We actually did it in another live stream. It's quite simple. We'll wait for it to load up. Take a sip of my drink while we're doing it. While it's loading up, don't forget, guys, check out my game Blob on the iOS Store and Android Google Play Store. It's a free game to download. Check it out, download it, play it, see what you think. It's a little puzzle game. Thank you to everyone who has downloaded it and been playing it. It's been great seeing people playing it. But yeah, check it out. It's free, as I say. And yeah, please check it out. It helps out a lot. So more downloads it gets, the more likely it goes up on the store listings. So please download it, play it, and share it to your friends and family, and try and get them to play it too. So it's probably a great game for people who like mobile puzzle games. Currently working on Salman Ali, currently working on a project. Would like to add a camera shake to Triggerbox. Any ideas how I can achieve this? Yep, I've got a video on it. Please go to my channel and just search for camera shake and you'll find it there. It's very simple. It don't take long to do at all. Probably Gavin, do you plan on doing more Let's Create videos, or are there more on Patreon? There's no more on Patreon at the moment, but yes, I do plan on doing more Let's Create videos, yes. If people have any suggestions for what they want to see in Let's Create stuff, please let us know. I'm always open for suggestions. I usually look at games that are popular at the time of release of like Half-Life, for example. I've done the Half-Life one because Half-Life Alyx was being released, and I was playing Half-Life Alyx, so it's quite good. Yeah, let us know if there's any games or particular game mechanics you want me to try and do Let's Create. Nothing too large. Like, people who do suggest some really crazy large systems, and sadly, I don't have time for that. X Draco, how to make multiple notification system where as notification arrive, the previous one moves to another position on the screen until they disappear. I don't know. Again, this is something that requires video or series of videos on, but if I go and make a widget blueprint, okay, and this would be a notification window. It's gonna crash in it. Ooh. There you go. So we've got this new widget, and it's because I'm loading up the other one. The other one's got some advanced models in it, so it's taking a while. It may crash. Oh yeah, pardon me. Right. So, oh my god. Again, I'll do a proper video series on this because it's quite a good one to do. So in your thing, you have two widget types. You have the notification panel. Oh my god. Size box. And this size box will do, let's do a width override and height override. Holy hell. It's because of this bloody project. It's lock-on project's ridiculous in size. So turn on the width and height. So we'll do 800 there and height override of, I don't know, 600. Compile. And this will have a list in it. So we'll do a scroll box. And the scroll box will have a vertical box in it. And the vertical box is where you have a list of all the notifications. So let's do a new notification widget. And quickly design something in here. So do a border. And this border will have padding of, I don't know, 10. And brush color. We'll go for this red here. And click compile. Actually, let's wrap that with another border. Okay, so there's my notification. So the notification then on here, you add it to this list. So to show you this, yes, so you can see how it works. I'll drag that into there. Oh wait, I should have made these a lot bigger. Hang on, so they don't take up too much space. Let's wrap this with a size box and give it a minimum desired height of 100. No, do 200. So on your notifications, when they bring them in, you spawn the create a widget and you add the widget to this window. And as you add them, they come up like with a scroll bar. And you can turn the scroll bar off, so you can't just scroll it in the game. So on your scroll box, you can turn the scroll bar off somewhere. Scroll bar, there you go, hidden. And I can add another one to it, and so forth and so forth. And then when your notification is cleared, so after a certain amount of time, this notification will maybe clear. So let's say on here you have on the construct set timer by event, and do custom event called remove notification, and that removes from parent. And so we'll put a timer of, like, say 3 seconds, for example. So after 3 seconds, this notification will remove itself from this list. And because the first one comes in at top, when you add one in, you want to insert it into the list at a different point. And you can do that by changing something. I don't know, you can put it somewhere. I have to look it up properly, but I'll make a video on it at some point. But essentially, after that, then it'll just destroy itself or animate out or whatever you want to do, and it'll be like that. What else? Oh yeah, the lock-on. So the lock-on stuff. Again, it's compiling all these shapes because it's character. If I show you it on here. So that's picking a target. Pretty simple. But when you have got a target, you take to look at. No, not look for a target. Where is it? Look at target. So look at target just gets the target's location, and you get a direction that the rotation needs to be, and you just tell the actor to rotate towards it, and then you change the character's control, the player's controller rotation. So the controller is the thing that's getting all the inputs from the players themselves, but you can intercept that and change it. So the control rotation here, I can customize my, in this case, my X and Z values, and use the current rotation from my pitch to play there. I've got a live stream on it somewhere, so look up live streams for it and you'll find them. It was like it's a blue one. I can't remember what I called it, but we done it. It's when we done the Witcher like series. Elijah LeMay, when you're working on a project and get creator's block, what do you do to get your mind back to the flow? Any tips? Take a break, step out of it, and reapproach it the next day. Give yourself a moment to just basically reset your brain. It's not like when your computer crashes, just turn it off and on again. Same thing if you just step away, come back later. Probably Gavin suggesting to make a Roadhog hook as a video. That'd be quite good. Crossbow archery system, that'd be quite cool. Archery crossbow system, if you want to know how to do that, it's very similar to the charge rifle shooter system that I made a video on. Instead of a laser beam though, it'll be an arrow. It sounds like I'm being taught by UE4 by James Acaster. I don't think I sound like a James Acaster, but sure, I love it. Kaylin Butori Zanfia, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Probably no doubt did. How does one make an object rock back and forth on an axis? The easiest way of doing that is with material. So it depends. If it's a platform that you want to jump on, you can use a movable platform idea with a spline and make it move along a spline. That's the easiest way of doing it. I've got loads of videos on splines, so look up platform movement on splines on my channel and you'll find them. Damos Plays. Hi Ryan, I have a question for you. Could you make an inventory system based on something like PUBG? I am going to be doing more inventory system stuff in the future, but I'll take a look at which ones are available and I'll take a look at PUBG. Nico, how can I set up a playlist of some songs randomly looping for a main menu, for example? A playlist of songs essentially is an array, so you just make an array of assets, and then just play through the array. That'd be the way I think you do it. Hi Ryan, do you think you do anything in 2D in Unreal? I will at some point. I haven't really dabbled in it, but I'd like to have a crack at it and see what's going on. But yeah, be interesting to see. And Damus plays how to make a dropping system like Fallout 4. You tell it to spawn the actor, which is the prop that's been dropped on the floor, and tell it to spawn at a location just in front of the player. And to get that location just in front of the player, do similar to what you do with a line trace. But the actual line tracing, you can just get the player's rotation, their forward vector, and multiply the forward vector by a certain distance, and that will come out of the player and drop the item on the floor. That sounds like it would be an interesting video as well to make. I'll make that as a video. Rocking back and forth as in like a seesaw. So like an actual physics-based object seesaw. If you're doing a physics-based object, you can do that, but you need to set up a physics constraint. So you have two objects. You have the actual board and you have the axis, and the axis is constrained to the board, so that when the player stands on it, it will lift up the other end. Oh, apologies for the yawning. It's getting quite late, and I haven't slept much. But yes, it'd be a physics constraint. So let's close the lock on things. It's slowing everything down. Right. So, for example, see if we can make something. Seesaw. And in here you have two objects. So we have a box. No, not box. Static mesh. And this will be cube, which we will flatten. Lengthen. And we can add another one. Obviously, you make a better model than this. This is really stupid. But there you go. And then you need a physics constraint. So physics constraint. And I forget always how to set this up. So I think you do it that way around. So that is constrained to this. No? It might be the other way around. So that is constrained to that. It's something like that. And then you tell this board here to be physics. So simulate physics. Compile. Let's just see what this looks like in game first. Oh, it's a bit small. Let's make it bigger. Oh, hello. I probably had it the wrong way round. Let's just... I need to fix my player character from... no, it's not there, is it? It's on the game mode. Hang on, bear with me. Okay. Put it the other way around. I always forget which way around this goes. But you constrain... You do angular limit, so it is... Oh my god, I can't remember any of this. It's... I think you can leave it as is. I can't remember now. I would have to have a look at the actual documentation and look at this stuff here, but it is this stuff you're looking at here. Let's try the other way around. So that is constrained to that. Well, that's a good start. It's not flying in the air. Oh, there you go. It's working. Just need to make it not too high. So we've got now a seesaw. Hello. Okay. And that's how you do a seesaw. So the basic physics constraint will let you do that. But you can then constrain it with multiple things. So let's go back here. So we could do that, and then you could constrain it to the whole thing to something else. So let's duplicate this and move that over here. And let's add a physics constraint again. Let's see what that looks like. You can just go nuts with it. Oh. I probably broke it. Oh, I didn't touch it, that's why. Hey. Nope. It broke. Maybe that's not a good idea. But you can do like daisy chain it, and you can make things like rope bridges and things like that. Yeah, there you go, seesaw. Cool. Sorry, I've been looking down all this time. Let's have a look back up. It's probably Nuggets. I'm wondering how you import meshes from Mixamo and have them work with UE4 skeleton. You can't. The UE4 skeleton is not without a plugin anyway. The UE4 skeleton and Mixamo skeleton are very different, so you can't really do it. The closest you can do to it is retargeting. So you need to redo retargeting to do that. I haven't got a video yet on that. I will plan on doing it. It is on the to-do list. I'll try and do it as soon as possible. Pat for line trace grabbing, what should I need to do for auto drop if there's a certain distance between the player and the grabbed object? So, what? I need to therefore drop if there is a certain distance between the player and a grabbed object. Oh, right, I get you. You can get a distance between 2 points, and just if it's greater than a certain point, delete it. To get a distance between 2 points, you just get the absolute positioning between the two. So you get location. So you get 2 locations. So I've got 2 get active locations here. One's target, one's the player, and you can get. I think there's even a node in here, so you can get distance between the two. Yeah, there you go. And you just check if that's greater than a certain value. If it's greater than, drop it. If it's not, ignore it. Demos Plays, do I have a Discord server for people that want to ask questions but are never on time for the streams? I do, but it is for patrons only, I'm afraid. So yeah, I do, but it's there only. But if you want to be a patron, it's just $1. You can get access to all the videos and that. It's probably also the code for the round world broke, and since I'm not a patron, I can't redo it. So I'm wondering if there's a way we could fix it through email. I haven't changed any of it. You can try email. I am unbelievably busy, so I don't really answer emails too often. You can try, and if I get time, I'll have a look. But I can't promise nothing. I say I can't stress how busy I am. I literally work. I literally sleep for about 2-3 hours a day every day. Kaylin, everything works as you teach. Great, thank you. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I say I keep it just for patrons as a reward for people who are willing to support me. I say it is just $8. Which is really cheap. It's like nothing, like 60p British money. But I understand people are cash strapped. But unfortunately, it's something I have to make sure there's integrity there for those who are supporting the channel. Okay, I think we're going to bring the live stream to an end. I say it's getting quite late now for me, so I am looking forward to bedtime. Things to look out for this week. So obviously Monday continues the making my first game in UE4 series. But I work on this second premium series. Making a second game is making good progress. That will be out by summer. And then we have on Wednesday be a one-off video. It may be the loot system, so how to do a weighted loot table. So maybe Wednesday, and on Fridays you'll continue getting the ability system series out. If you want to watch all the ability system series right now, Patreon have the whole lot, and they also have, if you're a gold member, have the project files for that as well. Any last comments or questions before I click the button to sign off? Go on, Noah. What's your question? Martin, I teach currently I'm teaching at a college called USP College in South Essex in England. So next week's live stream is going to be returning to what we were doing. I think it's Game Dev and Chill. I think. Pretty sure it's Game Dev and Chill. So I think we'll have a sit down and play, and I'll show you what stuff I'm working on. Just relax and make some stuff. Take a moment out. Noah, how do I snap a weapon? This will be the last question of the night. Sorry, everyone else, but Noah, how do I snap a weapon to my hands using sockets? Every time I try, I can aim left and right, but not up and down. Using sockets. I don't understand that. The weapon, you're attaching the weapon to sockets, and it. So I'm guessing you're doing first person. Important to note, the hierarchy up here count matters. So your camera needs to be first, and then attached to that will be the mesh with the arms, and then the gun or weapon will be attached to the mesh using the socket. So once you dragged it to the socket, dragged it on top of the mesh, like like there, you can then go to parent socket here, click on the button, and search for the socket grip point, and let's just reset this. There you go, and there you can see it's locked into that socket. So there shouldn't be any other issues then. I don't know why it wouldn't let you aim up and down. The only thing I can think of is you haven't got it attached to the camera like correctly here. And if you have got it attached to the camera correctly, then the other issue is on the camera, you want to make sure you use pawn control rotation. Tick that, and it will then use the mouse positioning. No, the weapon that you're dropping in Call of Duty and the weapon that you're holding in your hand are usually two different actors. Two different things, just so you know. The one in your hand usually has a lot more detail and a lot more stuff in it than the one on the floor. The one on the floor doesn't have any animations on it either or anything like that. So usually it's two different actors. One mesh is on the floor mesh, the other one is in the hand mesh. But that's the way they do it. You could do it any other way really. You can do it the actual way where you pick up the floor, the actual thing. So use a spawn despawn system. Yeah, they just spawn it, despawn it. Yeah, that's all it is. Destroy it, spawn it, destroy it, spawn it. Anyway, that's it for me. It's good night for me. Thank you for joining us this time. Join us next weekend for the next live stream, and check out all the videos coming out this week. Patrons, you can continue look forward to the more melee AI videos. So doing third-person action game in Patreon at the moment, where you can like sort of like Batman or Assassin's Creed style. So that's what we're doing. So check that out if you're a Patreon, and more videos of that this week. Plus things about world competition they'll be coming out this week as well for you guys. Thanks to everyone for watching, and don't forget to check out my game Blob on iOS and Android. And that'll do it. Thank you again, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.